my crafty friends, NanaKaye here with the Altered Book Nook and NanaKaye Designs. Hope you're having a beautiful Monday. I'm hoping to get this week started out with a whole lot more balance than what I have had in the last couple of weeks. But we never know. So life really keeps just dishing it out to us, so we'll just give it a whirl. We are in the process of using the Blue Tranquility digital journal download kit. This is a digital kit that is now available on the website here, NanaKaye Designs, in a bulk of a bundle. You can get all 3 kits in that bundle. Or it's available on our Etsy site, the Altered Book Nook. So far, we've only got the pages on Etsy. We still do not have the background pages and the ephemera set put on Etsy yet. So right now, your best bargain is here at NanaKaye Designs. You can get the whole thing in a bulk. And it's cheaper to buy it through us than it is to on our Etsy site. We have to increase the price a little bit on Etsy to make up for the cost we have. So, if you're using my kit, the Blue Tranquility, then I appreciate you purchasing, and I hope that you subscribe to our channel. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you. I don't want you to be confused if you're new here, so we're going to kind of go over a little bit of where we already are. What we're doing in this series, rather than doing a journal from total scratch and building and design, we are doing an altered book. So taking an old book, and I have ripped pages out, and we've already started, so I'm just going to kind of briefly go through. We're going to start on this page, and this page here has got a pocket in the very beginning, and I wanted to try to keep this blue since it goes so beautifully with the design we're already working on. And we're actually going to put this is or was designed in our ephemera set to be a belly band. It's going to be a flip open belly band. It's probably not going to be in this particular kit because we've already got all our pages kind of pre-shaped for this book, and we don't have a place, I don't think yet, to actually do a flip. But if we do, we'll put one in. But right now, I think what we're going to use is use it here as a pocket and design. We're going to use this in the background. So that's why, and over the weekend, I had my little grandson, so I wasn't able to do a whole lot of anything. So I went ahead and cut and prepped a lot of stuff for us to go over, because right now we're in the second part of the prepping stage. In an altered book, as far as NanaKaye's way of doing things, there are 2 prepping sessions. The first prepping session is ripping the pages out of the book and deciding where pockets are going to be and where whole pages are going to be. So that's the first prep. We're in the second prep now, where we actually start putting together the general pages. Now, you're going to see a lot of pages. Some of them we've already worked. I've already put a pocket here. But a lot of them are just like you see here, just got the stitching and all done. That's as far as we've got with it. And we are going to finish prepping this part of the book today, hopefully, in this video. It may be a little longer video than normal, but I want to get this prepping part behind us. You know, it's just a step that we have to take. So we're going to get started. This is what we've got done so far. I will have to stop the video still to go stitch pages. I didn't do all that, but you won't notice the difference when we edit it. So the first one we're going to work on today. And again, please do subscribe to our channel. We have a goal by the holidays to reach 1,000, and I hope we can get there. And I promise we're going to step up our game, and things are going to get a lot more interesting than what they've been at this point in time. But I'm in a learning process too. So while you guys are learning, I'm learning too. Now NanaKaye's only been at this like 5 years now, and I learn every day. So that we're still in a learning process. Okay, the first thing I want to do with this piece is I want to get a little bit of a background, because the band I don't want this much white showing. So I'm going to get a little bit of this background page put on that part of the pocket first, so that when we put it here, we've got some kind of color there besides just ink. Okay, so my process and my steps would be this. I would come in with my trusty little pencil here, and I'm going to mark each side here of about where I want to cut it. I'm going to lay my book aside for just a minute while we do our cutting. And I use my cutting board here. It is just one of them things that is just really important, imperative to me. And I have learned a little trick. We got little lines going sideways. And so that my head doesn't get under this camera here, I learned that I can actually cut at an angle, still see what I'm doing, and not get my head in the way, so that you guys don't have to look at my lovely gray hair, which gets more gray every day. Also, I just heard my husband crank up the weed eater, so please excuse the noise. But you know, our life does go on, even though we craft, my life does go on outside of this studio. So one of these days I'm going to give y'all a tour of this beautiful studio my husband has built me. It is just, it's massive and it's beautiful, and I'm very proud of it. In my old age, this is just kind of my little, well, I guess you guys know, a lot of people call these she sheds, but mine's more than a she shed. I have one 12 by 60 mobile home and a 12 by 50 mobile home, and they're hooked together with a little walkway. So one side is all my supplies, and it's almost bumping full again, and I got to reduce some. And the other side, this side is my studio. I've got my video area, which is right here where we're working, in one little room, and this also has my massive computer set up, because I also do a lot of graphic art. Well, you know I do graphic art because I've designed all these. And then I've got a stamping area and a cutting area. Then I have another little L-shaped area that's got, we do a lot of yard selling and buying out storage bins, or did in the past. We don't do it as much now. But I was able to get a whole bunch of really old, and I'm talking old, shelving that was in a school that's kind of in shape, and like a block shape, the books that all fit in. And we actually reworked those, repainted them. I've got a black and white theme in the front with a little bit of blue. And that's our theme. And I've done all these bookshelves. So in the front area, we've got a desk set up where we actually teach classes. We're actually teaching classes locally. So one day I'm going to do a video walkthrough of this beautiful little shop that my husband has actually took these mobile homes and pulled them apart and built me this really pretty shop here. Alright, what I'm getting ready to do here is, again, if you've watched any of the videos, all of my graphic stuff is printed out on 28-pound high-quality brochure paper. I do use a more expensive paper, and there's a reason. I use a more expensive paper because I get such a high-quality, vivid print. Just about what you're seeing on this camera is actually what you're seeing on this piece of paper when you get this book. So it is a high-quality print, but it's too thin, as you see right here, the way it thumbs. I got glue on my fingers. Too thin to actually be assured that it's not going to rip or tear when people are putting things in this pocket. So to remedy that, again, let's set the book aside a little bit so that you can get on screen. And we're going to actually lay this on here and glue it onto a piece of 110-pound cardstock. And then we're going to recut that out again. Sometimes these processes seem tedious and aggravating, but it depends on the quality you want to get on the final product. And yes, I could have printed this. I could have printed this on the 110 right to start with, and I wouldn't have to go through this step. But at the same token, I would not have with this 110 cardstock. It's not a brochure grade. It's not a photo quality grade. So I would not have got this beautiful, vivid color, and that's what I wanted on the top layer, was this beautiful color. So we have to go through these tedious processes here to get this done. Get my glasses on, guys, I apologize. And get my scissors turned right. But it's not that hard to just go back, especially if you're just sitting. Now, videoing is a little more aggravating because everything that we have to do in the process of video is taking up time. But I have felt like that's what I wanted to show you guys, is really all the behind-the-scenes thing that goes on. And I have cut out a lot of it by actually pre-prepping all this, because yesterday, which was Sunday, while my little fella was just running around and wanting NanaKaye to be at least visible. He doesn't necessarily need me to be talking to him or paying him, you know, running around with him, but he wants to know when he looks up from playing that his Nana is sitting right there. He's only 2 years old, and I'm bragging on him. He is smart as a whip. The boy has a vocabulary that's better than most adults today. I am truly amazed. We started him out on little videos like Miss Rachel and things like that, and this child has learned to talk the quickest of any kid I've ever seen in my life. And I raised mine, so I know about that way they develop. And I'm amazed at my little Christian. But anyway, I did a lot of prep work that I'm not even showing you guys on camera, which was cutting all the pages out the sides I needed them, cutting the background pages out, cutting all the tags out, taking the scrap papers from when I cut pieces out. There was a little piece of graphics left over like this. I don't throw these away. I go ahead and trim them out of my paper. You know, I use as much product as I can because ink is not cheap. Ink is not cheap. So, you know, when you print something, you want to use as much as you can. So you didn't get to see all the behind-the-scenes stuff, but eventually I am going to go from scratch, start to finish, like my next video. Well, not my next one. After we do the from scratch of the larger kit of the blue Tranquility, I am going to do another. I am going to do another altered book, and on that particular series, I am actually going to carry you step by step, day by day, what I do. Whether it's 30 minutes one day or an hour a day, some days the videos are going to be a complete series. I'm not going to do anything off camera. Everything can be done on camera, and you're going to get to see an altered book done from start to finish, including all the prep work that's done. So get ready if you want to see that. If not, this is the type of video you want, where I've gone off scene and added some and just kind of briefly told you how to get to these steps. All right, we've got it back. You don't have to do anything to this because it's going down, but you got a couple options here. Now this is just me. We can move this over like this. We can move it over like this and leave this pocket open right here. And then we could actually come in and leave this part open and make another pocket here. So you could actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 cards here. I personally, for my own aesthetics, I just want to kind of, this is kind of what I'm envisioning here, and I'm actually going to glue the whole thing down. But there are options. And again, this was made be a flip. Okay, so I'm just going to show you without actually doing it. This was made to be a flip up belly band. Another thing you could do, and I'm going to pull a piece of paper out. If I can find a long strip, and I can't necessarily find it. But let's just say we have, let's go a little wider. Okay, let's just say you've got a piece of paper that's a whole length of it. You can actually fold that in half like this. Fold it in half like this. This doesn't have to be anything but a plain piece of paper, okay? Or you want a little heavy, so a little bit of cardstock, at least 65 pounds. And you could actually glue that there. Not this part in here, just the back side of this. And then you could actually glue this side here. And then you would actually be able to open this up. And that's really a cute thing to do. Or you can do it this way. You can actually glue it on the back side and do it this way, which is what I think I'm going to do on this one. Since we are talking about it, and I aesthetically like it down like this, but a hidden flip would be cute for journaling area underneath. The very front of the book, I like that idea. So we're going to set the book aside. We're going to find another piece of 65 town. I don't got something to pour it right on it, but give me just a second. I'm going to grab another piece of my cardstock. I don't have any extra side. I've used it up. Alright, so let's make this a cute little bit. And really, I should have waited and done it underneath this. But I didn't. And I think it's too late to pull that up because this berry art glue is quick. Okay, but I can do it this way. Alright. Alright, first piece. I'm going to cut it about, I mean, this doesn't have to be perfect on this one. I'm going to cut it 1.5 inches. It's a little wide, but I want to do this. This is really, and this is a process I go through a lot. I know a lot of times you guys think, oh, this lady's crazy. And well, I'm not really crazy. I'm just have a tendency of once I get into something, I envision something else while I'm doing something, and I'm off to do what I see. I'm going to fold it and see. Yeah, that's a good amount right there. Okay, and I need to try to fold it as evenly. I probably should do this is what I told y'all guys, I'm not really good. I have to have my board. I just do have to have my board to do my folds. It just works better for me. I don't sit here and fight it. I just take my little bone folder and just go right on down. I know y'all can't see. I know it's totally off camera, but I'm folding that piece of paper like this. I don't have much space under this camera, and that's something I'm probably going to work on. When we get through with this book, I'm probably going to expand my video area because I have to have a lot of space when I work. Alright, so we're going to fold that in half, like so. I want to put another piece of this down because when I open it up, I really want to see this on both sides. Yes, no, yes, because we're going to have to cover that now, okay? But we're actually going to cover that with just a little piece of plain, do it this way. Okay, it's going to open. We're going to actually see some, yeah, we want to see some of this. So we're going to glue this one on. I'm sorry I changed my mind a lot, but I just think this will give you an idea of things you can do, flips and what we call flips, flops, things of that nature. I used to do a lot of waterfall designs too, and I don't do much of them anymore. Okay, so this one's going to go in here like so. I don't think I have another one of these colors that we can do on the back of that, but that's okay, it'll blend. Okay, and we're going to, I lost some other scissors, but these will work. Put it there. And then I'm going to cut off the excess here. So now I have my hinge. This would be a hinge that we just designed here as a hinge. And we need to fold that hinge too on the same line that we had before. And press it down really good. I want to lay as flat as I can possibly get it. And my fingernails are my best thing here for doing that. Okay, now we've got to get this cut the right size because as you see this is too large. So we're going to put it on our book and do our pencil marks as to where we want this cut. I'm going to cut here and here. And then our strip should fit that because we measured the strip according to the book. Take a second here. Put this on this line and cut it right quick. This is going to be really pretty little hidden drawing spot. that's the one thing I love about building journals. You can make so many little hidden spots that only you're going to know about. Even though you want to show off your book, you may have some private things you don't want everybody just constantly reading. You could use it as a diary, but these little hidden spots are cute places to hide things. Like you could hide, like if you went to a movie and really enjoyed it and you had a good time, you write a little thing about it and put the tickets inside the envelope, and then actually write a little story about your visit there. All right, this one is going to work perfectly here. So we're going to actually glue this down now on here. I want my flip this way because I still want my tab off this. Oops, let's get my book in. I want my flip this way. You can flip it this way, but I want my flip to go back this way, and I want my tab to hang over this edge. So I'm going to actually put this piece on this back side here. So that's another decision you have to make, which way you want this little hidden tab to flip. And I want it to go backwards. So we're going to place that there. Alright guys, we got it on. Press it down, really firm. Press it. And guys, again, this is a really handy tool. You get a really nice scraper that's not too sharp. It's going to tear everything. I use it faithfully. I love it. I just love it. I like my little folder thing. Okay, and now we got to... Okay, this won't really matter which one we use, so I'm going to grab one I've already cut, which is this. I don't think I got a small one. I saw it, and I think I'm going to use it, so I don't have to do a lot of trimming. And I'm actually going to do the same thing again. I'm going to glue this blue one on top of this. And that's going to be your journaling, part of your journaling spot, along with this right here. I got it. This right here will be a journaling area inside, and this right here will be a journaling area. Put it on. Slide it all the way up to the edge, and just still make sure you've got room to bend over a little bit. Press it down, and we're going to trim this out real quick. I've already spent more time on this little sheet than I really intended. We're into 20 minutes. I apologize, but we'll move along as we get going. Cut this back out, and we're going to ink it up, and we're going to glue it in, and we'll have our little hidden journaling spot here, right on our front cover. Got to make sure that's glued down. I just noticed a little pull back. Okay, and ink it, ink the edges. I'm not shy with the ink. Now, a lot of people may not like as much inking as I do. I'm just not shy with it, and I just go to town with it. I am going to ink this a little. I don't know that it's necessary, but I'll go ahead and do it while we're on camera, and then I'll know that later. Okay, so we're going to want our flip to flip this way. Now, if you were flipping it this way, this tab could be glued underneath. Okay? But we're not. We're going to flip it this way because I want the tab to hang over the edge here. So we're going to actually glue it down right here. The whole thing. I can tell it's summer because it seems like we're having a little invasion of black ants over here. And I've never noticed that problem in my little studio before. So I'm going to have to call the big man and tell him to get over here with the spray. I don't like little pests inside of my workshop. And we also, this year, I don't know why, but we have had an onslaught of little pepper nets this year. They've been really bad. Okay, now this is not laying down real flat yet, but it will. But there's your flip. There's your writing spot, your little clip. Writing spot here. So that's done right now. I will press this down. I will press this down at a later time. When I press my book, I always put my pages kind of flat. So for right now, while we're working, I am actually going to put a paper clip on there and see if I can encourage it to stay flatter. Doesn't mean it will until I actually put it in my press. I use an old t-shirt press where my daughter used to decorate t-shirts, a heat press, and I use it to press my books. All right, let's go on. Let's see what's next. Now, we've got all these done. Pages. Okay, I know where we're going to go. But keep going. Keep going. I think it was the last project we did. I'm just kind of flipping through. For those of you who are new, so you can see what we've actually done. There's a pretty belly band there. Okay. Okay, for all of you who watched the last video, we put this pretty little pocket on here, and this page here, and a couple more. And I don't know if any of y'all were screaming on the screen when you're looking at it at me, because you know that I stitch all of my edges. I forgot to stitch that edge. And I have already laid this paper down, which has the stitching, so I couldn't take it to the machine to stitch again because it would mess that design up. So I actually went to my machine. I chose the same paper I used, and I actually done a stitch 'em, which is this is one of our trademark items. So you can also find these on our shop here. NanaKaye Designs. I call them stitchings. I think I'm sold out right now, but I'll be adding more. The difference with the stitching that you see here is I match stitch in my paper. All of our other stitchings, just as a reminder, are on the lacy page. We do these on the lacy page like this here. So that's the only difference, but I just didn't like the look there. I wanted to get it the same thing here. So I have had to go and do a stitch-em here. Okay, so it's going to have to get stitched down like that, but it doesn't look bad. I think it's aesthetically just as pretty as the stitching itself. So let's go ahead and do that and finish that page. So for all of you who looked at my last video and was hollering at me, NanaKaye, you didn't stitch the page. I heard you in my mind, I guess, because I had no sooner cut the video off when I realized we had not stitched that page and had already added that other one on it. I was like, okay, what do I do? Well, here's what we did. I went in and I sewed it on the sewing machine. And I'm not sure I want to turn it that way because it offsets that, so I'm going to flip it and see if it makes any difference, and it does. Kind of keeps the pattern of the gingham check intact. Okay, all the way up to the edge with it. That looks good to me, guys. I mean, I know it's a little, but this is what I call a hiccup, or as Bob Ross on his painting videos, and y'all know I love Bob Ross. You'll hear me mention him so many times. It was a happy little accident. It worked out fine. But this is where the stitchings come in so handy for me. And now you see how I managed to invent them, because this is the thing to wrong. I got a little bit of glue here. And since y'all may not can see it, but I can, and I don't like it, I lightly come in with my eraser, a white clean eraser. I lightly come in with it, and I just kind of go over that area. And most of the time, it'll come right off. Now, if you bear down, you have to just do it really lightly. But if you bear down, you're going to peel the paper off. So don't bear down on it. But that a lot of times will get your little excess glue. All right, so now we've corrected the error that we made on that page. So we're going to go on. We had already done this page. This page will be decorated with something later. Now we're coming to, let's see, well, I've got paper clips in the areas of things that need something done to it. So it looks like we're coming to the pocket page, and we had already put the window sheet on this one. So we're going to get to do this back side now, which is right here. And I'm going to, before I glue it on, I'm going to actually kind of get it in place where I'm going to want it on the page, where I want it on the sheet. And I'm going to go ahead, if I can find my punch, I'm going to go ahead and punch out my thumb tab because I have to go sew this edge, and I don't want my sewing to be above. Oh, I don't want to be able to, where I punch it, I don't want to punch my stitches. Okay, so just give me a minute. I'm going to go do the sewing, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. Didn't take me but a second or two. All right, I'm going to trim my threads out from my stitching here. Page nice and clean. And for now, all we're going to do is glue this one down. Okay. I forgot to go exchange my bottle of glue. I am running out. I'll repeat myself. I really put a heavy coating of glue across my stitching. That's so that it will not ravel as we're using the pages. Okay. Not had any ravel so far, but because you're having a book, you just want to be double sure. And another thing I did that's been brought to my attention is, in some of my videos, it sounds like my words are a little mumbled together. So, I'm going to make a vow to you guys, and I'm going to try to slow down my talking a little. I don't want to get monotonous, but I will slow down. And I make no excuses. I am a Southern woman, and sometimes we do just kind of get talking so fast, we're not aware that we're not completing our sentences. But my issue is I had throat cancer, and in having to take the radiation and chemo, they were fearful that I would have a bone infection in my jaw, because radiation really does play havoc on the area that it's done on, and I had to have it done on my whole jaw area and down through my whole throat. So they took all my teeth away from me. I lost all my beautiful pearly white teeth, which was devastating in itself. The cancer was bad enough, but the taking my teeth was really bad. And then when I got well enough to get dentures, the gums were so destroyed with the bone from the radiation that I have yet to be able to find dentures that fit really well. So I have had to learn how to talk without teeth. So if you hear me mumbling a lot of times, it's because I'm just not getting my words out completely, and I apologize. I'm going to try to do better at it. Just pray for me, because this has really been a journey trying to video, be in the public eye when you've got aesthetic problems like I have with my physical body. But you know what? I'm going to go on. I said I'm not going to let little things like that stop me. Okay, on the next one, I had a whole page like this left in my book. And I really didn't want to do another decorative page and a decorative page. So what I decided here was to do a large corner pocket. So that's going to flip over like that. So I actually took another page, one of our journal pages, and I turned it over and I folded it also. So it's going to glue, but I need to trim it off a little, so I'm going to go ahead and take my trusty little pencil here, and I'm going to trim off the area. Oops, this don't go off of it. Okay, let's trim that off before we do anything else. It'd be great if I could hold my scissors properly, wouldn't it? Okay, right down that line. I'm trying to cut it. My blade does cut it a lot better, but the scissors are faster, and we've already marked out so much time in this video. We're going to try to get it knocked out. Okay. All right, the first thing I need to do is I'm going to fold this piece down, because we've made the decision that that is what we're going to do here. So I just need to, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to place something over it, but just enough that we're not dealing with a lot of loose ends here. So that's down. And we're going to put this one on top of it here. Just make sure before we get started that we're where we want to be, and we are. So now we're going to glue the flat part down here. I really am going to stop and go get another tube of Very Art glue. See, there I just mumbled. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to stop and get another tube of Very Art glue. I hope you can hear me. All right. All right. Let's get this in place where we want it on the pocket. And I want it right on that edge, and right on the edge, and I want it to go right down to the fold line. Okay, let's see what that looks like now. All right, that's really nice looking. Okay, now, again, the paper gives you some options, and this is strictly up to you if you want to do this. But you could leave this undone. Put another piece of paper here, another decorative, just a solid, one of your solid pieces like this. You could actually put one there. And actually not glue this down, and you could flip up and you'd have a hidden writing spot. I think we're going to do that. And then I would need to, but you were going to have to find a way to keep this down. So we have these little Velcro dots. You could actually do a Velcro dot there. So let's do that. I had not planned on this, but let's see if we can actually do that. All right, so I'm going to want to cut the paper here. I'm going to want to cut the paper across here. All right. I cut it up too much. See, I had it in here, so we need to bring this fold line over just a little more. I'm going to cut this first and get this out of the way. Now this is kind of an odd shape, so sometimes it's a little harder to get it right at first. We'll start with this. I'd probably be smarter just to actually, I will. Really? Actually, we will. Let's do it this way. That way I'll know next time I've got a hidden spot like this how to cut my paper. Yes, that works, guys. Just start at that corner and just bring it down. Start at the corner here. Lay this piece aside because I'm sure we'll use it for something. Press this back down. They say, oh, that's going to glue under there like that. Now, I'm going to actually want to make sure that it's along that edge like that. You see that? You really don't want it peeping out from under when you glue down. You don't want it peeping out. So I'm going to flip this back over like this and redraw my lines. So I want it to come here. I want it to come across here. I'm going to cut that with my scissors again, guys. And I'll cut just inside where I drew it a little bit to make sure that we're not going to peep out from underneath. Okay. That piece cut just inside that drawing line. Write that down. Okay. Let's get it down where we can work with it. Lift it back up. Put it down like this. Okay, let's make sure if we glue it there that we're hiding along this edges. If that's not, so I'm going to tap it right there. And this is where I want to glue it, so I'm going to hold it down and I'm going to start gluing from this side so that I don't move. Because you're trying to get it really tight there for a reason, so you really don't want to lose that spot at all. Because it is almost impossible once I put this berry glue down to move this piece of paper. So I'm going to carry the glue on as much as I can. So I'm going to come in and glue it down. Then I'm going to press, and I'm not going to measure again. I'm going to hope I didn't slide. And we didn't. Look at that. That's really nice. It's really nice. So now all you have to do at this point is come back on this other side and just glue some down. And I'm going to glue it on the actual paper in both ways. And I really am just about to run dry, guys. So I am going to have to go get me some berry glue. I don't have an extra bottle up here, and I do not want to use the Fabri-Tac. But we're going to press that down. Okay, now you have a hidden writing spot right there. You got a pocket. We're going to glue this down. All right, let's get that down. While we're on video, let's get this edge just there and there. You want to glue this pocket to that piece first. Now press that down again. Okay, so now we've got these two pieces welded together. Now we've got a pocket here that has something pretty. Then you're going to be able to flip up and you're going to have a writing spot here and here. Okay, so let me, yeah, matter of fact, even a photo can be glued on the back of that down. So I'll be right back. I've got to go replenish berry, and I'm going to go try to find a Velcro dot, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I found the Velcro dots. They're a little thicker than I like, but we're going to deal with it. Now, if they're really strong, this is a thin piece of paper. We might have an issue, so we're going to carry this a little step further. I mean, this is a book we want to last forever, so we don't want to have a problem. This is my berry glue, my larger tube. Now, this size here works better in my hands. So I'm going to do on mine something I shouldn't probably do over yet, but I'm going to transfer a little bit of my large bottle to my smaller bottle, just simply because I like to use the smaller bottle more often myself. I do have the little bear bottle. They've got a bear bottle. It's like the honey bear bottles that I have a really large amount in, and I didn't grab it. But this is it. So I'll refill. We're ready to go. Now, so I was thinking, okay, Karen, we got to go here and probably add a little bit of strength. And since I'm going to have to do that, I'm going to go with a decorative piece of paper. I'm going to wonder. That piece is not going to be big enough. Maybe not. We'll just go with this. I'm going to test my Velcro dots at first before we go to all that. Which I hope you understand what I'm saying about this being thin, and if we're going to Velcro it, we want to make sure that we can open it up. This Velcro bag is really tight. I can't find the flap, so you know what? Oh, I think I see it way up here. Okay. Took me a minute there. Let's see how strong this Velcro is when we put them together. Alright, I am actually going to put the Velcro right there. I've got one little dot right there. Going to put the other piece on it like this. You know what? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Put it like that. Yeah, we're definitely going to... It's definitely really strong. I'm going to pull it a couple of times and see. No, not... That's it, guys. We're not going to do it. That Velcro is going to hold fine, and it's not going to tear the page, I do not think. Well, now, if you was not to put your thumb under it, it would. But just remember, if you're doing your book, you need to make that decision if you're going to put a piece under it. I'm not for now, because for the sake of time. And then I might, after we finish the book, go back and do it. But I can see where I can pull it. Okay, so there's where we are. We got the pocket done. We got the beautiful design here that we could actually come back in and do some more decorating on later. And then you've got your hidden writing spot beneath. Turned out really pretty, didn't it, guys? Okay, now the last step I have here. Now there's another option you guys have when you're doing, you can actually stitch there or door stitch them or whatever if you want it. I'm not going to do it on that pocket. The page itself is done. That's all I'm worried about along this edge here. A little bit on my pocket here and right here. Okay. I like that. That was just like a kind of a surprise as we were designing. Okay, so we've got that one done. All right, next step. All right, this is one I wanted to be sure to show you. Okay, in prepping the book, you'll notice these little tabs like this. All right, what has happened here? Let's see if I've got one that's not glued yet. I don't think I do. Okay, what is underneath this tab is where I took out 8 pages of the book. 8 pages were torn out between 2 pages. And then I cut the 2 pages down this size, glued it together to make this flap. There's a good reason for this. It is because it saves on bulk. If I had left the whole page here and then glued this on and this on, that's adding a lot of bulk to your book. So by taking it and making it into a glue strip, and that's what this technically is, it's a glue strip, and I can even cut it smaller. I really could even cut this down another strip or so. I can make it smaller, and I think I'm probably going to do that, but it just really depends on if I can do it without... I don't know where my other ruler is, and that's the problem. But you can actually technically even make it smaller. It doesn't really even have to be that large. I'm just going to come in here and just eyeball it because it doesn't matter whether it's straight or not. But you could actually come in and even cut it smaller. And that's not a problem. Now, I do have a little issue here right quick that I don't like. And that's, again, aesthetics that I didn't get the glue on the strip really good because on the strip I used a piece of coffee dyed paper that I had actually done myself. And I do coffee dye, I don't do t-shirt dye. So I've got to make sure that the paper's not curling, and it's not. Now I've got to make sure I rub it so the glue is dry enough. Okay, so what I've done, I've gone ahead and chose the 2 pieces that I'm going to put there. And I'm going to put these 2 pieces of design on that flap. But I've got to get them cut straight, and I've got to get them where they're going to fit on here. Okay, so they're going to go like this. So the first thing I'm going to do before I put them on is I'm going to go ahead and get this edge. Let's put the book aside just a little bit. Let's work just with the two we're working with. I want to get this edge here glued down. So that's the first thing I want, because this is the edge that you're going to see, and I want it to be straight, clean edge. So, berry glue, just as close to that edge as I can get. And it doesn't matter if it spreads out a little because you're not doing a pocket or anything here, but you do want the two edges welded together as tightly as possible. Okay, make sure that you've got them the right way, both sheets, so you need to make sure they're all upright. Make sure they're upright. You would not probably be surprised at how many pages that I have glued upside down. And I had to just throw them away, because once I get them this tight, well, I didn't throw them away, I cut the graphics out of them. So, like I say, I don't waste. Okay, so that is pretty tight on that edge. I'm going to glue it down really tight, get the glue off my board, and I excuse my dirty board. I'll get a lot of glue on it. Okay, now it's a matter of measuring to see how much we're going to have to cut off of the page. I kind of use the page in front here, right here. When you're looking at it, look at this is sticking up just like 1/8 of an inch above this page. This is the page you want to use as your guide. You want this page and that page to be the same. So, I'm going to take my pencil. I'm going to look at my page guide, and it looks like my flap here is off a little, so we may trim that up. But we want the page guide to be right here. And there's that page guide right there. So we're going to cut those off right there. So let's set the book aside again. I'm going to go to my trusty little edge here. There's my pencil mark. You may not can see it, but there it is. That's my pencil mark on that. I don't know why I would have a pencil mark there. That was not the pencil mark we're looking for, though. Okay, let me get my glasses on. There is my pencil mark. There. So, I am going to have to put it this way so I can see you guys without sticking my head in the way. I'm going to have to stick it up here because I know it's straight. I think it's straight along that edge. And that's what we want to make sure of, that we're straight. Yeah, I'm getting my head in. That's what I was afraid of. That's what I'm talking about. If I'm not careful, I stick my head underneath this camera. Everything needs to come to the side over here. I'm learning to lean sideways. Okay. And that slipped. That was not good. Well, it didn't cut much more. It might have been the back side that slipped. But I can definitely tell that it's not straight. So I'm going to put it back on here again. Okay, and once this is where I overcut it. So I'm going to have to slide it up where that edge is on the line and just trim off this little teeny edge where I let it slip. Shame on me. Wasn't much, but it's enough that I noticed it and I can't stand it. Okay. Alright, we measure again. This one is in place at the top already. So we want to just make sure that our bottom is still in the right line. It is, so I'm going to line it up again. There's my cut, there's my line. This is my straightest edge here. So we want it on the line here and here. And with the ruler, put it on that line, top and bottom. Hold it tight. Let's see if I can do this without letting it slip. I did that time. Alright. I spoke too soon. The back side didn't trim. Ha! Okay. Well, we'll fix that real quickly. Now, I have a rough edge there. And do you guys remember from prior videos what I do about these little rough edges? Does anybody remember? What did I say about paper and wood? Same, made with the same natural product, trees. And it's sandable. So that's how I handle edges that I got a little bit rough. Now, still got a little bit of white showing there. So now what my idea would be is to come in and just make sure that we get this trimmed off really good. And I'm going to take just a very small amount off. That's a little more than I want to do. So I'm going to keep it on this bottom line as a straight edge. Slide it a little bit on that. Get my dots lined up right there and there. And let's go for it again. Let's just kind of take off just a small amount, as you see, just to build it up. And I think we're ready to paste it. I gotta look at this real quick. I have a little bit extra here. This is an awkward place to cut, but I'm gonna get brave and do it. It's a very awkward place. I'm going to trim. Okay, I'm going to trim it here just a little bit, guys. Bear with me. I don't like that white shine on that side. Very awkward to cut right here. I don't know what we'll do. That's our Velcro. I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to take my pencil. Kind of give me a pencil mark as to what I need to cut off, and I'm going to flip it up. Okay. You'll find yourself doing this really frequently. It's trimming up your pages and making sure things are fitting. There you go. So that's what you'll find yourself doing a lot. You'll find yourself doing a lot of trim up work on everything. Okay, so that got that back in kind of some kind of order. I'm going to put a paper clip on it to keep it down while I'm working with it. And then, like I say, when we press the book, all these edges should stay down. And I may reposition and put 2 Velcro dots on each end. I don't know. We'll decide. Okay, this is what we're concentrating on. This little flap here. We're going to start with one side. I'm going to glue it. I'm going to glue it good because these are going to be base pages here. You've already glued one side, so your flap should open a little bit. Bring it in. Get it kind of in position before you press down on that side. Make sure you've got a little bit of area left here so that when you're folding, you're not going to roll over. See that? Just a little bit of edge there. And flip it over. Open it up. Got a lot of space right there, so let's glue it down again. I'm going to glue this piece down right here. And then we're going to glue all this all in here again. We want everything laid down nice and smooth. Okay. Down. Okay. I roll my book backwards like this so that this is the only thing touching the board. I sit it up, get a nice smooth, and I take my smoothing tool and I smooth it down. So now you have a page from the back. That's the purpose of those little flaps that you've been seeing. Now I've added the page in. All nice and neat. And again here, where I glued the copy paper down to make the flap. Got a little excess area here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to press it down into the seam, or into the binding here is what I'm trying to do. Okay, there we go. All right, then be careful when you're doing things like this, that you're not destroying your spine. You do not, one thing we do not want to do is disrupt the glue. We do not want to disrupt the glue that's along the edge of this the older part of the book. That is not at all something we want to do. We don't want to, because that we're dependent on the strength of that to keep our book together. All right, so we've got that done and this done, and we are into 1 hour. So guys, I hate to say it, but that's all we're going to get done on this video today. We'll continue again in a little while on the fourth. This is the this is the fourth video on prepping this book. So we're going to cut this off and go on and do another video in a little while. This is NanaKaye signing off for Monday morning and Monday afternoon. I'll have another video ready to go in, and we're going to continue on trying to get the actual second stage of the prep done. Remember, we're in the second stage of the prep. Okay, it's NanaKaye signing off. I appreciate you watching. Again, please subscribe. Come visit me often so that you can see what the final results of this beautiful book we're working on with the blue Tranquility on digital journal kit that is available on NanaKaye Designs. Thank you. Have a great day.